wonderfully. I don't think she had a double-double, but she was damn close. She posted a picture and said doubling everything or something like that. She had 13 points, 9 rebounds. She had an assist, 2 steals, and a block in 24 minutes. So they did lose to the Lynx, 92-81, but the stats for Angel Reese translating from what she did here at LSU straight to the WNBA. And how can you deny her skill? You can't. To give you a little context, this is what I came across. I came across a tweet, Jordan Stocks, shout out Jordan. He made the point that he was watching a WNBA game while NBA playoffs were going on. Unheard of, right? The way that the WNBA has started to pick up steam, because you've got people like Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Camila Cardoza, Angel Reese coming in, the star power that they're bringing and the fan bases that they're bringing to the WNBA, because I can't tell you how many, I'm sure Iowa fans or LSU fans never watched a WNBA game in their life, and they were tuned in. They were tuned in. And it got to a point where the viewership is crazy, right?
Yeah. I saw it hit like 400,000.
Yeah, the viewership skyrocketed. And Jordan made the point on Twitter, one, that he was watching a WNBA game over an NBA game, and that the NBA was posting videos of the WNBA game while the playoffs were going on. So huge success for women's sports to see that viewership grow. Now, here's where Abby started to get a little bit sassy on Twitter. X. It is not Twitter, Abby. It is X. I quoted that tweet and I said, Angel Reese has a hand in this too, talking about the viewership going up and people watching a women's game over a men's game. And not only that, not only were they watching the official stream of the WNBA games, they were watching X streams because that game wasn't on. Mm-hmm. And there were a load of people watching the Chicago game because of Angel Reese. So I quote that tweet, and here we go, right? You're an LSU sports reporter. You hear it from every fan base about all kinds of stuff. I've gotten, nobody cares about Angel Reese, which is factually incorrect. Factually incorrect. You cannot say that. There are a lot of people that care about Angel Reese. Because you don't, doesn't mean that everyone else does. You don't have to like somebody. But if you're going to come at me on Twitter, get your facts straight, first of all. And a lot of hate just being like, I don't like to watch her. I don't even want to watch because of Angel Reese, whatever. Like, just being super negative instead of acknowledging, like, damn, maybe she's not my favorite. I love Angel Reese. Let me get that straight. Let me put that on air. Clip that. But maybe she's not your favorite person. You cannot deny that the woman has skill and that she is changing the game. Fact, point blank. And I will argue with people on Twitter about that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me nobody cares.
People care.
To go further, don't come. This is one of my favorite things. I was called a biased fraud and a mascot for LSU. Now, born and raised in New Orleans, and I said this in my video, born and raised in New Orleans, went to LSU, grew up going to LSU sporting events and Saints games. Like, yes, I am a fan, but you have to have all the context. I'm in the press conferences. I'm at the games. I keep up with it on a daily basis as an LSU sports reporter. So to call me a biased fraud and then to ask who's more credible, some guy on Twitter or me, you look like a clown. Sit down. And that is my Tiger tea for today. I just wanted to start the show off that way.
Yeah.
But seriously, what these girls, not just Angel Reese, but the women that I named, bringing so much attention. Even the current WNBA players right now are hyped. The Fever, when they got Caitlin Clark, they were so excited because of what these young women are doing for women's basketball.
Yeah.
The numbers do not lie. Go look at the stats. Go look at how many people tuned into those games. Angel stats alone. Come on. So shout out to Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Camila Cardoza, Paige Beckers, all the women that just got drafted and started their professional career. You guys are doing something truly, truly that is changing the game. Okay. Settle down. I did say that I made a TikTok video, so if y'all are looking for some more Abby on her soapbox, my TikTok is gonna get pretty lit. You can find that in the link in my bio. Beach volleyball, beach volleyball, beach volleyball. I said that we are knocking things left and right, breaking history left and right. Gym just got their national championship, but you're looking at another female sports team at LSU that is moving up in the rankings. We released an interview with Emily Meyer last week about the team, about her journey, which it was really cool. I played volleyball with her in high school. Super cool interview. Should definitely check that out. But she talked about this team and the heart that they play with. And they had a hell of a weekend. They came out of the weekend, took down TCU, which I believe they were ranked 6th, took down Stanford, 3rd ranked, which was a huge deal. They went to the Final Four. So not only did they defeat those two top 10, that's a tongue twister, 2 top 10 ranked schools, it was the largest upset in NCAA beach tournament history.
Yeah.
So they're doing something different. Now they did lose to UCLA, who was ranked number 2 in the in the Final Four. And we talked to Emily about UCLA. I know you were at that interview. You remember that. And she was talking about, they beat them earlier in the season, and it's hard to beat a team twice. But for them to even get that far, to make it to semis, that is incredible. And you're seeing it across the board, all of the sports. And I feel like there's kind of like, again, I'm not in the dinner hall, or like I'm not in study hall or whatever.
There has to be a competition.
But you know where I'm going with this. There's got to be like, shit, they just won natty, like a natty. We gotta step up the game. Or like baseball just pulled off a win over Auburn. We gotta step it up. Like I feel like there's like friendly competition within the LSU athletic organization between athletes through all sports that are like, oh, we gotta pull our weight. Like we can't fall back because all the other teams are doing well, and it's almost like they're motivating each other.
Yeah.
I can't not think that that's not happening. I'm sure there's some banter.
Yeah. Even if it's not like out there, it's internal for sure.
Yeah. And I don't think it's in a way of like negative or challenging. I think they're very supportive. And if you've seen any of the content that they put out, women's the gym team just threw out the first pitch for LSU Softball. Like they're all very integrated and very supportive of each other. Some of the Tiger girls were at the gymnastics like cane celebration. Like they're super involved with each other, and I guess you have to be when you're a part of an athletic organization like this. Like you're gonna ride or die for LSU. So women's beach volleyball. It was, you put the stat in here, the furthest a number 11 ranked team has ever made it at nationals.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's why it's like the biggest upset, because I guess a team that ranked that low has
to be
never
ranked
made it.
11 going into, so that tournament is in Gulf Shores at the Hangout. So those of you who have been to Hangout Fest, it's right there. They haven't been to semifinals since 2021, so turned it around, really got things going. Riley Allred and Parker Bracken, and I'm just going to read this, claimed the duel on court 2 in a marathon match, essentially going back and forth. They upset Stanford. That's who got them to advance to semis. And then they earned a spot on the NCAA all-tournament team after going a perfect 3-0. So shout out to those women. They put in some work. And let me tell y'all, from being out there for an hour on that sand, it is hot. It is hot. Look, all of these athletes put in work. But when it is blazing 90 degrees and you're on sand that is reflecting that heat and burning your feet, I was literally out there for less than an hour and ready to go. So the beach volleyball team, they're grinding, and it paid off. So shout out to them for making it to semis. That, again, just goes right in line with what LSU is building and the brand they're building.
Also, this couple right here, they were the only 2 to beat UCLA. So they were on fire.
Come on.
This weekend. So,
Come on.
Shout out to y'all, girls.
And UCLA, and we've talked to Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss about this. We've talked to Emily Meyer about this, but beach volleyball by nature, like the trend has been it's just better volleyball on the West Coast, right? They have the beaches. We don't have, I mean, we got Grand Isle over here, but that ain't no beach volleyball beach. But you traditionally see the better beach volleyball teams in schools on the West Coast. So to beat UCLA is a huge notch on the belt of LSU because of that. And Taryn and Kristen talk about how they fly out over there to train over there, but they find facilities here to train as well. And just to let y'all know, Taryn and Kristen, former LSU Beach Volleyball players, are now, last I checked, they just won their tournament this weekend. Last I checked, they are ranked 2nd in the world.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're going to the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
We do their podcast, so if you haven't seen that, you should go check it out. It's called Small Talk and Tall Tales. Culture Media runs it, and we get the backside of their story and the ins and outs, and Taryn just got engaged and all kinds of stuff. They're really cool people, but they talk a lot about, they're going up against competition that just has a beach in their backyard, and like you have to work a little bit extra. So translating that message to LSU beating UCLA, that's a big deal, just because UCLA is a West Coast team.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about baseball. Now, for the past couple weeks, I've been a little bit like, I don't want to talk about baseball anymore, but we took off the weekend because of Cinco de Mayo. We normally do the show at Modesto on Sunday. Wanted to get out of the way so they could do their celebration, so we had a show on Friday, and we previewed the series. If you watched Beyond the Box on Friday, I will be the first to say that I was not super positive going into the weekend. I was straight up negative. I surely was. I was. Anthony called me out for it on the show. And I was wrong. I was wrong. Because they won the series over the number 1 team right now. Texas A&M came in. Lose Friday, lose Saturday. Now Sunday, a little bit of a different story. We'll get there in a second. But Gage Jump shoves on Friday. Luke Coleman comes in, puts in work on Saturday. You saw the Tigers go down and come back up. And this is a good baseball program. Texas A&M, if you watch Beyond the Box, Anthony had a little bit of even more context because he personally knows Nolan Kane, who is the recruitment director for Texas A&M baseball, and spoke to the high level of, or the way that organization is run and how highly respected it is and how good of an organization it is. So this was a tough matchup, but we saw these guys really pull it together. They won 6-4 on Friday. Again, Gage Jump came in, definitely a Friday night guy. We thought it was Luke Holman. Holman was the Friday night guy, but Gage Jump coming in, he's got that fire that you really need to light the weekend up. And they got it done on Friday. So you go into Saturday, you've got 1 win over the number 1 team already locked in. You get a second one, you win the series, and that's just what they did. They were down 3-0 in the bottom of the third. 2 outs, nobody on. Tigers ended up getting 3 runs. Again, Luke Holman does what he does. Tommy White and Jared Jones pull a dual act and hit bombs back to back, and end up shortening the deficit 3-2. And then Josh Pearson comes in and doubles, gets on base, and Travinsky knocks him in for an RBI. But the guy in that game Josh Pearson, first off, coming in clutch. The guy that I want to talk about is Christian freaking Little. I don't have his, and look, I'll pull him up right now.
Carl Dunn said Christian Little was that dog.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah.
He really was. And I think he got, Jay does the magic moments of the games. He got it on Saturday because we've been waiting to see his moment kind of thing. I'm pulling up his stats from Saturday. He's been helpful coming out the bullpen. But Saturday, he made a case for himself. And like I said, pulling up the stats right now, but I remember watching and being like, holy hell, where did this come from? This is just what you need. Is it the fire from winning yesterday that it's really not giving me much here. I guess you were looking up charcuterie boards because that's what's popping up. Anyway, if you can get the stats, pull them up. But Christian Little really stood out on Saturday, helped to lock in a series win. That's huge, especially from a pitching staff that you've been kind of looking for that. You've been looking for guys to come out the bullpen and be super reliable and have outings like that, where it's electric. You get it from some of the starters, you get it occasionally from some of the closers, but not on a consistent basis. And Christian Little showed us that he's capable of doing that. Now Sunday, a little bit of a different scenario. I don't know if it was because maybe I jinxed it because I tweeted. I was like, are we about to sweep? No, I definitely jinxed it.
It's definitely your fault.
Yeah, but it was me. It was me. Y'all can blame me. I think Carl was on Twitter and commented back whenever I tweeted that and was like, yeah, you jinxed it. Carl, I'm looking. Yeah, he went 3 2/3 of an inning, which, again, see if you can get those stats, let me know.
Yeah.
But Sunday, it got ugly in the 5th inning. The 5th inning alone was 40 minutes of offense from Texas A&M, and the pitching just couldn't figure it out. Nate Atkinhausen started the day, and I don't know. I don't understand that move. And we'll be back at Don Juan tomorrow for Beyond the Box to talk about this weekend because we didn't get to recap it. But I don't get that move. I understand you start Cade Anderson on a Sunday. He doesn't have the best day. He comes out within 1 inning. But that's not fair to go off of one outing. And I don't know that Nate is your Sunday guy. We really haven't found the Sunday guy. I say Cade Anderson gets another shot at that Sunday spot. But again, I'm not Jay Johnson. So they are now 31-18 overall and 9-15 in the SEC. You've got Bama this weekend. You've got Ole Miss next weekend. And then you have the SEC tournament, barring we don't drop into the bottom 2. You put the stats in here. Is that what I'm looking at? Kind of.
I just have the numbers.
Going on. Look them up. Christian Little did his thing. But you definitely still have a challenge with Bama. Bama, good team. Ole Miss, we're fighting for the spot in the SEC tournament against them because they are towards the bottom of the SEC as well. Well-coached team. You're going to have to hopefully lock in another series win over Alabama and go into that game with a lot of momentum. You need Ole Miss to lose some games before that weekend and I don't think it's going to fall this way. I think LSU does go to Hoover. But on the off chance they don't, it's going to be really interesting coming off a national title and then not going to Hoover. And then if they do get to the SEC tournament, are they hosting a regional? Now, we know that sports is a business. The NCAA is probably going to do what they can to allow LSU to host just because of the fan base, the money it brings in. But we don't know, and we won't know. Tune in to Beyond the Box tomorrow at Don Juan. We'll be going live around 8:30 to talk about the midweek tomorrow, to recap Auburn, and to preview Bama. Softball, on the other hand, just closed out their regular season. They had their senior game over the weekend. They won the series over Liberty, but in similar fashion to LSU Baseball, couldn't get it done on Sunday, so they lost Sunday night, but they did win the first 2 games. They finished the season 38-14. You always know it's kind of a fresh start.
Yep.
When you finish the regular season, you no longer have a record. Nothing really matters anymore. They're going into the SEC tournament, and Coach Torina kind of talked about exactly that, like getting that fresh start. She said it's nice to be 0-0 again, get a little restart. It's almost like a free week with the SEC tournament. It can only help you. I hope we go there and play well and make a case for being a top 8 seed. So now it gets serious. Now everything that has happened is out of the window. Now you're starting with a 0-0 record, fresh start. You kind of revamp, restart, refuel up, and go. Because now you're fighting for hopefully a top 8 seed.
Yeah.
So if they do get that number 8 seed what's up?
I think they are. They're number 8 seed in the SEC tournament.
You're correct. So they're going to face Bama. That's cool.
Yeah.
Baseball and softball.
Both
facing Bama in the same week. But Bama's ranked 9. LSU's ranked 8. You're going to get some good softball. That'll take place on Tuesday during the day. I hate that they do this. I remember in school, a good friend of mine, Shelby Wickersham, if you're an LSU softball fan, you know she was a pitcher here. She was a great pitcher. Her dad, Jeff, was a quarterback here, played for the Miami Dolphins behind Dan Marino for a little bit, but she is one of my good friends. I played ball with her in high school, and we were good friends in high school. But in high school, there was one day I remember her texting me and being like, guess who got tickets to the SEC tournament? And we surely skipped school and went to the SEC tournament because it is during the day. That's college athletics for you. But they will play at 10 a.m. on Tuesday in Alabama, 8v9. So if you've got a lunch break at work, or maybe you can sneak the live stream on your phone, that'll be some good softball for sure. Oh, I'm just checking out the chat here. Yeah, going back to baseball just for a second because I want to acknowledge what you said, Carl. He had 6 strikeouts in 3 2/3 of an inning. You think he was pulled a little too early? I might agree with you there. Now, the thing about pulling pitchers too early is if you let them go for too long, especially if they're not the kind of guy that has normally it's not normal to see him go a long time. Jay's probably being a little bit more careful of, okay, how long do we leave him out there? I don't want this to fall apart. But he did his job, and that game ended with a dub. But yeah, I think I want to see a little bit more of Christian Little after Saturday's game. And could he have finished out that 2/3 of an inning? Probably. Maybe even gone another one. Women's golf, I told y'all, we're all over the place. They start the 2024 NCAA Bryan Regional. The Traditions Club starts today, like I said. And if they finish in the top 5, they'll travel to Cali to compete for the NCAA championships later on, May? So at the end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that. Just a trip to California. Must be nice.
Yeah, huh? Damn. I wish I was going out to Cali. But they have some incredible girls on that team. Ingrid Lidblad is one of the top ranked golfers, women's golfers in the world. She is so poised. We need to get in contact with her. I think Anthony was working on getting her on Up and In. But some of those girls, and golf doesn't get enough, I'll be honest, I'm not a golf fan. I don't have the patience for it, but it is a skilled sport. You're either really good or you're really bad, I think. But those girls are doing their thing. So hopefully they come through with this tournament this weekend. Or today. Again, what is up with the stuff during the week? They get that done this week, and then we'll see them in Cali at the end of the month. We'll keep y'all posted on that. And then we'll round out with a little bit of tennis. They are 16-11. They finished their season on Saturday. They lost to Stanford. Stanford was ranked 2nd. But they had a really, really good season. 16 wins, improved their win total by 3. The first round win of the NCAA tournament marked the first time the team advanced to the second round in 3 years. And they had a 4-2 win over South Carolina, who was ranked 14th. And that marked the program's first win over a top 25 team since 2021. So another shout out to tennis for a successful season. I found out over Thanksgiving that my cousin, Taylor Frogelman, is the head coach of women's tennis. So these little fun interactive interviews we do, I am working on getting some tennis content. Yay. Now, fair warning, I'm not great at tennis because I don't know how to keep the ball in the court. I just want to hit it really hard and it goes everywhere.
Maybe you should try badminton. Or
maybe that's
pickle.
my thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with ping pong.
I'm not, my hand is, I want to put some anger out in it, you know?
I feel you. Yeah, I just want to swing away.
Yeah.
And even, I haven't even tried pickleball. My dad got me some pickleball stuff for Christmas. I heard it's all the rage. Everyone loves pickleball. I just don't think that I'd be good at it. But hey, we're not afraid of failure here at Valley Vision. So we're going to give it a try. We're going to do some content with women's tennis. going back to the point I made earlier, across the board.
Someone said golf is for rich people. They have the time during the week.
Well,
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, I guess if you live on a golf course and you can just go.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I wouldn't know. Going back to my point, though, across the board, you're not really seeing a team fall behind. Baseball's picking it up, and hopefully they can keep that momentum moving forward. Softball about to enter the SEC tournament. Remember, they started off this season undefeated, and you get into SEC play, conference play here. It's tough. The softball in the SEC is good softball. So they had a really good season. We would love to see them hopefully get back to Oklahoma City. Beth Torina has been trying to get back there. She's brought them there, I believe. We have talked about this so many times, and I can never remember. Carl, I know you know. How many times has Beth Torina been to Oklahoma City? Let me know in the chat. But would love to see them get there through the postseason. Golf, again, opportunity to make it to the championships at the end of May. Tennis, making progress from previous seasons. So got to give it to the athletic department for the higher-ups, the front office, that is really doing God's work, getting the right coaches, getting the right staff, recruiting the right players, even in this crazy world of NIL. I learned yesterday in a conversation 4. So Beth Torina has been to Oklahoma City 4 times. We would love to see number 5. But I learned in a conversation yesterday, as we are in a crazy time where the transfer portal is out of hand, because now you can just hop, skip, jump to wherever you want to go to get playing time. Okay, fair. But back in the day, you used to have to wait your turn and kind of play behind somebody. Not against the transfer portal. I think it needs to be used in the correct way because it's getting a little bit abused. But my point being, for NIL, the NIL rules, I don't know how much y'all know about it, but I literally just found this out, that the rules are different in every state. Okay? I knew that, and I knew there was an unequal balance going on. It's part of why Nick Saban retired from Bama, can't keep up. And when the rules are different in one state versus another, the recruiting, like, you just have leverage and you get the advantage. You can pay more money. You can do whatever to get the right players in here. So you're going to start to see powerhouses arise because these athletes want to be paid the most, right? So they're going to overlook going to other places, and then you just have an uneven playing field.
Yep.
So we really are living in a crazy time with NIL. I think Virginia, I want to say Virginia is the first state to be able to actually pay their players. So, like, the schools can pay. Yeah. Like, we can pay, we're going to pay you this much to come here. Yeah,
because someone came to our class the other day, and she was talking about how she has to go to Virginia, the DMV area, because they literally just changed their laws. And she was like, it's changing every day, every week. You really don't know what you're going to wake up to.
Yeah, and it's new. So, right, they're trying to figure everything out. But we were kind of rushed into this, and there's different rules for everybody. And it's kind of, I don't want to say screwing, but it is screwing with college athletics. I think we're going to look back in a couple years and be like, what the hell were we doing, once they find the balance and the equality and where you cap things off? Because if you look at some of the numbers and some of the money that these athletes are making, it is crazy. Now, I am for them being paid, for sure, because if the schools are just making money off of the athletes, that doesn't feel fair. But holy goodness gracious, there's a lot of money being thrown at these kids. 18 and 22-year-olds are walking around with a lot of money in their pockets. So there definitely needs to be some evening out across the board. But aside from NIL, LSU is just running the game. And to circle out with what I started with, people are mad about it. We live rent-free in everyone's heads. Everybody's got something to say about a coach, a player, a play, a game, a whatever. It's rolling off the shoulders, because as long as we're bringing home national titles, not just in one sport, not just in 2 sports, but in like a lot of sports. Yeah. I don't even know the number. Keep talking. I'll I'll keep arguing on Twitter. It's fine. Ride or die, baby. Look, I cover them. Sports reporter. I can be professional, but I am also born and raised purple and gold. That's all the sports stuff we have for you today. That was a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I just kept going. But to give y'all a rundown of the week, we have a lot more content coming at y'all, of course. Like I said, Emily Meyer released last week. If you haven't seen the interview with Izzy Besselman from Up and In, you should check that out. She spoke so highly of Kim Mulkey, of her teammates. Very well-spoken, super cool, great personality. Great episode she did with Anthony. So check that out. This week, we will have, I know I said it last week, but Grace had a hair appointment that ran over. So Grace Kelly is going to come back in the studio. I actually got to meet Brian Kelly and Matt McMahon this morning at Ronnie Rance's Rougarou golf tournament. And I talked to BK and I was like, hey, I've actually done content with your daughter. I don't know if, and he was like, oh yeah, I've seen it. I was like, oh, are you a fan of Valley Vision? BK's a fan of Valley Vision. Let's go. But we were talking about Grace and what she's up to, what she's going to be doing. So she'll be back in here Wednesday to record some content. Now, I didn't tell Brian that she was going to be reading social media posts, tweets, X. What do you call posts on X now?
I don't know.
X's? Like, what?
I don't know. People still call them tweets.
Okay, well, I'm just going to stick to tweets. But Grace is going to sit here in this studio, and we already have a doc for her of all the tweets that we want her to react to about her dad. So that's going to be gold content, and I think that's going to release next week. But we'll get her in here this week. We'll have... Who's coming on Up and In this week?
Cam Carter, transfer for LSU basketball. Anthony got to talk to Matt McMahon earlier today, so he'll have Cam in here on the Purple Couch. And if you're looking for somewhere to get to know these players as they're coming in, this is the place to do it. Cam, again, a transfer. You're going to get to learn his story, who he is, how he's going to help this team, why he's here, all that kind of stuff. He's from Louisiana, so playing for LSU, I'm sure, is a dream come true. We'll find out. And that will go out on Friday, so some great content. And we've been talking about it. Y'all know Cards and Culture is our brother company. I feel like they're the brother and we're the sister. Yeah.
It just makes sense. But Cards and Culture did a remodel, and they will be having a grand reopening on Saturday. Doors open at 10. If you haven't been to Cards and Culture, it's a sick spot. It's really even sicker. What?
Sicker.
This is live too. Like I can't
Totally
erase and take it back. No. Okay, well it's even cooler now. But they've got TVs, they've got a bar, and on Saturday they're gonna have a DJ. They're gonna have a couple LSU athletes over there signing things and taking pictures. I believe we've got some Tiger girls, national champions, making it out there. Chris Hilton and some football guys are gonna be there. Women's basketball. Last I heard, Michaela Williams and Aaliyah Del Rosario are going to swing, I think Izzy as well, are going to swing by Cards and Culture to do some autographs and pictures. And we've got a bartender. Y'all know St. Rock sponsors us. Shout out St. Rock. We are going to be handing out, because we can't sell, but if you're of age, we'll be serving St. Rock, so y'all can finally taste what we're talking about. But it's definitely going to be a fun time. It's going to be a good hangout. You can meet some of the Culture Media and Cards and Culture staff and our team here. So if you have nothing to do on Saturday, hopefully it's a beautiful day. Definitely go swing by the grand reopening. We're super excited about what's to come and, you know, events that we can have in there. We hosted a draft party in there, and we're looking forward to collabing a little bit more and really, really getting the community involved, and not just Valley Vision, not just Up and In, but Culture Media in general, as well as some of the card side of things and just the experience with the athletes there and all. So Cards and Culture, 10 a.m. till I guess.
Till the party
on
ends.
Saturday, May 11th. I will not be there. I'm so sorry. I will be standing in my best friend's wedding. You know, priorities. I wish I was going to be there, but priorities. That's about all. Did I miss anything? One more shout out. Y'all see this bottle, and the only reason I thought of it is because I really want a sip of it right now. A-Game. If you're looking for a natural hydration drink, I'm not a sugar person. I don't like all the fruity, like over-the-top flavor stuff. This is phenomenal. It's natural. So sea salt is used for the electrolytes, 8 essential vitamins, all of your B's. You got a little bit of honey in here, natural flavors, natural sweeteners, and it's actually made with Icelandic glacier water. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really cool, and the flavors are not bad. You know how, first off, I wouldn't be pushing a drink if I didn't like it. So this is one of my favorite flavors, tropical. So if you're looking for a hydration drink, if you work out, if you work outside, if you're an athlete, this is definitely the way to go. It is founded by former MLB player Johnny Damon, and Bo Nix is up in there too. He's on the board for A Games. So I've got, if you are bored, you can go stalk my Instagram. I have a whole bunch of links in my bio. One of them is for A Game for a discount code. The other one is for Fresh Chef Kitchen. I don't have any of my food today. I already ate it. But they are a meal prep company here. They fuel a lot of the LSU athletes y'all like to watch. And if you're not into cooking, you don't have time to cook, you find yourself constantly buying fast food, spending money you don't want to spend, or eating stuff that doesn't make you feel great, Fresh Chef Kitchen is the move. They have all the nutrition facts, the calories. You can pick your meals for the week. You pick up Wednesday, pick up Sunday, and you're good to go. Best chef's kiss, pun intended, for sure. But I have a discount code for that as well. So go check out my bio links on my Instagram. And again, make sure you subscribe. We're growing the community. You got anything to leave with the people?
No, I just hope to see everybody May 11th.
Oh yeah, May 11th. And if you're bored tomorrow night, No.1 for Beyond the Box. We're wrapping up Beyond the Box pretty soon, depending on how far LSU baseball goes. So make sure y'all swing by that. As always, we appreciate y'all for watching, and we will see y'all soon.